morning, traders. Welcome to the daily webinar. And this one will also be out as the weekly outlook for my YouTube viewers. So if my YouTube viewers, if you like it, please share it and help others see it. I'm going to take 2 minutes and answer some questions very quick to all the YouTube questions that I got, all the questions I got from the YouTube viewers about the group. So if you guys don't mind, give me 2 minutes, please. I'm going to go really fast. First, we have a group on Workplace. You know me, I like to draw really funny. So Workplace. Our group is based on Workplace. It's a paid place. Every member is paying their own subscription. It's very cheap. It's $4 a month. Every member is paying for that themselves, right? So that doesn't go to me. That goes to Workplace, right? And we have decided in the group that we will stay there because it's good quality. All our videos are kept. There's good storage. If you go any other place where you have to keep all the videos and store it, it's going to be expensive. So great, we're there. When you join us, you join this group. You get into that group and everything is there. We have many, many subgroups in there that allow you to do whatever you want. And then we have on Zoom, we use all our, that should be M, right? All our recording is done on Zoom. Every single day, we do about 5 to 6 sessions on Zoom live, which is live trading, analyzing chart, taking the trades when the trade is available, putting entry orders, managing the trades we have in there. And so that's something we do every day. I am in there. So my traders are there and, you know, it's a continuous thing and we keep streamlining it to make it better, right? All of this is done and recorded, not all of them, but some, at least one session a day is recorded, daily webinar is recorded on Workplace. So you can come back and watch it whenever you wake up in the day. We have traders from New Zealand to Canada and we have traders across the globe. So whenever you wake up, you get to watch it. It's recorded and it's live. Right? So if you can join it live, you join. If not, you watch the recording. And you can join any of the live sessions you want. Now, how to access all of this? This one is lifetime. This one is lifetime. You get lifetime access to that Workplace group. But to get access to it, you have to first buy the course, which means we have to train you to understand the way we do. That's the wave training course, where we train you to understand what we actually do. So when you go in there, you already know what we're looking at, how we're looking at it, and you're in the same line with us. So we're not going to be explaining much of that to you. It doesn't mean we don't take questions. We do questions every single day, right? So basically, that's what it is. Now, if you don't have the full money to pay, if you pay immediately, you get access to everything that is in there, which is the full sum of the course. Now, there's a lot of traders who do not have the money to pay immediately, but they're trading. They have a smaller account and they're trading, and they've made me known that my daily webinar does help them. All my webinars help them to make better decisions in their trading, right? So if you want access to the group, or at least to the daily webinars, but you don't have the money to join the group immediately, you can join what we call the Installment Program. What does that mean? That means you can pay from $100 and up every month until you reach the cost of the course, which is $2,500. When you reach that, you don't pay anything else. Now you can pay $100, you can pay $300. Some people pay it 3 times $500, $500, $1,000, $1,000. Some people pay it 5 times $500. How you can afford to pay it, you pay. When you complete that, you get access to the group. You're put into the group immediately. Until then, you're getting my daily webinar for free. You're not paying for the webinar, you're paying for the course. That's the only thing you pay for. It's a one-time payment for the course. That's 6 weeks of my time that I use, my times and my senior trader time that we use to train you. You're paying for that, 6 weeks of that. The rest of it is absolutely free. So you're getting my daily webinar as a complimentary while you're saving money for the course. Okay? I hope that is clear. Because I got a lot of message over the weekend asking about how this works and how it doesn't work. I think I'll just answer it here so everybody gets an idea. Right? Now, there's so much thing happening in the group that I don't think you can afford to pay for it. First, you have 5, 6 sessions a day. They're all live. You have a daily webinar every day. You have lifetime access. Please, if I have to charge you for all of those stuff, you really don't have money. You already don't have money for the course. So I don't think you have money to pay for all of that. All of that is absolutely free. You have access to not only me, you have access to all our successful traders, all our senior traders, and struggling traders who might have the same problem like you that you can work with together to overcome that problem. While you're in the group, you can ask as many questions as you want because every daily session starts with, is there any question? All my sessions start with, you guys have any questions? If you do, we answer the questions and then we move on. So your choice. You want to be in one of the best groups, I should say probably the best group, trading group in the world, join us. If you think there's an alternative that's better than us, show me. That way you can get better than this. With real life trading every single day, 5-6 times a day. I doubt it. I've never seen one. And nobody has ever shown me one that does that. With follow-up on every single trade we take. So with that now, let's move on. Thank you very much. Let's go. You guys should help share this so I don't have to repeat it. I really don't like doing that. So with dollar index, it's going down. And remember, we said it could go more because we'll be tracking this bigger move. If you want to know when I think this bigger move was going to come, when it happened and it turned and it started to go up, and from here, we start tracking that it's going to happen sometime. That doesn't mean we don't trade up and down. We trade both directions. Right now, we're looking for the downside. It made one consolidation. We had a few sells and a lot of trades going down. Now we're watching this one. And I think this is just making a bigger consolidation. Go to the 1 hour, you can see it. So what you're going to probably have here is this might, make some consolidation here, come back. The deeper it come back here, the better it is for us. Because when it comes here, it's going to go back up. We might even get a buy here before all of this is over and it's going to drop. Right? That is the forecast we're looking at. That's what we think is going to happen. So you might say, well, what if it goes up? What would change my view that this thing could actually go up much higher from this point rather than going down? Well, there's a lot that could change the view. First is how deep this consolidation is going to be. What will be the structure of the consolidation? And then we will decide, do we really have a buy setup with a risk to reward in it? Because we might get a buy setup, but no risk to reward it. It means we will not take the trade. We will wait for another setup that does have risk to reward it. And if we get that, we'll take it. Right now, we're looking for a sell. We don't have a sell setup as yet. We'll wait on that. It will take some time. I think this is going to be a bigger consolidation, maybe even a deeper one. That might even go back all the way like this before it drops. Right? I'm hoping that it stays here and within a day or so, we get this sell setup. Let's go. Silver. Great. This is going sideways. You can see my analysis in it. This was a sell from the top there. This one, there was a few smaller sells in there. We're looking for a sell from somewhere here. If we get it, for downside. This doesn't have a very good sell setup. So I'll be a little cautious with it. It doesn't have a buy setup as well because we're getting some consolidation here. But because of the way this structured is, I'll probably skip this buy until above this stop. If I get buy setup after that, then I'll take it. We have a perfect sell setup on this, and we already have an entry order in here. On this one, you can put it under the low here now. And I think it's consolidating here. We're probably getting some kind of a consolidation here that should drop. Now, if you look back, why that is a good sell setup is because of where we are in the structure, right? We're going up, we're going sideways, and we keep dropping, we keep dropping, we keep dropping. So there's a good chance that it might even come back to the top and then drop. If it comes back to the top, you wait for it to pull back, go break the top again, and then look for the sell, right? So I don't know if I can find one of that to show you where they do make the flag go. Here's a good example, right? If you were looking for a flag here, this is not so sharp. This is smaller. But if it was sharp like this and it ended up doing that, you'd probably wait for it to come back, go break the top, and then come. In this case, it was a little different. They had a smaller one and it became a running flat in here, right? To see that one, make a new high, then come. So if this turns out to be a flat, it will make a new high and then come. I still think this is consolidation for one more down now, right? So how deep down, we'll keep an eye on it and see. Because remember, gold is a little different structure from silver. Now it's looking more downside, but can it actually still crawl up? Can this actually still, come here and crawl its way up back out to the top there? It happens sometimes rare, where they start very slow. You think it's making a correction, but then it picks up. And that is okay. We'll wait until we see this setup that says that now you can buy, then we buy. As it stands right now, we're looking for a sell setup. Let's go. Okay, this was a perfect buy for my traders. I want to remind you of the analysis on this. Go back and watch it. We said it could either be a running flat, 1, 2, and then it's going to go back. Look for the buy setup. That was a buy setup. You should get another buy setup to go break the top. Or it's going to break through. Remember, we were selling it when it's coming down. And now we bought it Friday and we're looking for another buy setup because I think it's going to go break the top. And when it breaks the top, we'll be looking for the bigger sell setup that we are expecting, which is why we are looking at this in the first place. See, every piece worked. Went up, Came down back, it should go back up. And then when it breaks this stop, we'll start to look for sell setups to come down for a very big move. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see. We'll keep our eyes on it. We're making forecasts. We're assuming what it could do. And then we see if it's doing it, we'll take the trade. All right. So we'll be looking for a buy setup here today. I think you can actually put an entry order above because I'm looking at a possible running flat in play right now. Euro. Okay. So this was the buy. We closed this. Remember, we had a buy here. We closed it, put the entry order above the top. If you're not in our group, but that's what we did. That's how we manage trades. It's kind of pulling back here. So what I think is going to happen is that this might make a much bigger correction here now and then continue to the upside. We'll have to monitor that to see if it's actually doing that. Because if they're going to come down, we will wait for a setup to sell. I think mostly it's a consolidation for upside. All right, let's keep our eyes on that. Pound. We're actually looking for a short-term possible sell setup. So this would probably go back up, make a flat, and if it does, we'll be looking for a sell setup. So can euro actually go up and pound? Well, this could drop while euro is consolidating downwards. Right, downwards, but not an impulse selling, a consolidation or a shorter impulse. So this would be a sell setup, and we'll see when it breaks below what happens. Can this actually become the buy and euro takes off like a rocket? Yes, if this actually works its way back to the top here and come back here, then we would look at this as a flat for upside. Now, that's the difference. That's where wave analysis comes in, where you start to understand the patterns, how they behave, what pattern you're looking at, and how this pattern is going to behave specifically. See? So right now, it's a sell setup, it's a short-term buy. I mean, this one, we're not buying this, but you can, if you have the skill level, why not? This could end up going all the way to the top here, then come back here, and then go and we'll have a flat like this. We'll be buying this one, not this one. But if this comes here and turn, we'll be selling it for sure. So within that, Aussie, we have a sell setup on that. Let's see if it goes higher. We will take it off, look for a buy setup. Right now, it's a sell setup. New Zealand, sell setup. If it goes higher, come back, we'll take it out, look for a buy setup. I mean, higher into the impulse. Yen, I do think this might come and break the top. It should come back here and then go break the top before it comes down. I'm still looking at it. I think if you go back and you watch the webinar when we were selling these here, I can't remember which webinar it is, but go back. There was only about 3 or 4 webinars you should watch within this move down. And I explained that we were expecting this to drop and break the low. But because patterns can be more complex than you think they are, and because this is really sharp, there's a good chance that we might get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, come back here and still go. This would still be a flat pattern, except the B part is going to be a more complex B part than we thought than a simple 3-wave. It's a 5-wave complex B part. See? So is it going to be, can this actually take off? If only I thought this is a contracting flat. And what I mean by contracting flat is if I think this was all we got as a contracting flat, 1, 2, 3, and this is totally going up. Now, the contracting flat is rare, and that means we don't make it a forecast because you're going to deceive yourself. If it comes here and start to drop, you would probably not expect the drop, and you would probably stay with the trade. So we're looking for a buy, but only to break this stop. And then we're going to put that into break even and see if it goes. If it doesn't go, well, great. We'll try to get out of the trade and look for a sell setup. CAD. It's kind of going sideways. It didn't break. Here's what I was looking for, like how we would change the euro or which one, what is it? If they go back to the top, this was a sell. If it goes to the top, come back now, it becomes a buy, not a sell setup. We're not looking for the sell anymore because this looks more like a flat pattern in the making. So there's a good chance you will stay in that sideways for a while. You take off the sell. That's since Friday we took it off. And that means this coming back here could literally take off. So we'll be looking for the buy setup here or the buy setup from this point. Can you sell this piece down? Well, if you're into that kind of risk, it's worth it, but I don't think we should leave it and wait. I'm looking more for the buy setup now. Swiss. This one is coming back pretty deep, but it's still a sell setup for now. Right? It has to go much higher before we consider it a buy. Can we buy the smaller flag at the top here? Not sure I like the idea. It's a buy setup on a smaller time frame here, but I'll rather buy the CAD or buy something else. Buy the yen, for example, not this one. Euros. Okay, great. This was a perfect buy. This was a perfect buy. There were 2 buy setups there, this one and this one. And if you took both, you close those here. I'm looking for the sell setup. See, it's going like this. So we look for the sell setup to come back here. Can it actually break out and drop from that level? Not necessarily, we broke this top. That means even if it's come down, it's going to be a bigger flat there, right? So you can look at it two ways. You can make an assumption that this is 1, 2, 3, and this one is going to drop through the bottom like that, right? We can make that assumption. We can also make an assumption that no. This one would probably come back here and make a new high and then drop to the bottom, right? I just showed you how that changed, I think was on the CAD, right? Where you're in this up move, but you're in a corrective up move. So how would you look at a pattern? Is this, if you look at it flat as this one, right? Then you can make, it will have to be somewhere. You can make an assumption that this is 1, 2, 3, and we're finished, we're going down. So we'll look for a sell setup. We will still look for a sell setup, even if we think we're just coming back here to go back up, making it this the pattern, right? If we're making that the pattern as a 1, 2, 3, go back up there and then come down, it's still a sell setup from the top. So regardless which one it is, we're looking for a sell setup. Let's get the sell setup and let's take the trade. This was a perfect buy. Let's look for the perfect sell setup. It's not there as yet, right? We want the 1 hour sell setup. There was an aggressive move at the top there, but I would not take it. We'll wait for 1 hour. If we get a flag, we'll take it. EuroCAD, same thing. We'll look for the sell setup. This one will come back to the top and make the bigger flat. We don't have to break the top because we're assuming it's a running flat, which means if I get a flag here today, that'll be a sell setup. And I think this one should break the low. I'm not expecting this to make a more complex one because the most corrective part is actually this. So I'm thinking, well, you know what? This looks like a 3-wave up. This looks like a 1, 2, 3 up. This looks like a 1, 2, 3 up. Why not? Come down back, break the low. If we get a sell setup here, we'll definitely go for it. Let's go, Euro pound. This one is a surprise because I was looking for a flat here. It actually went higher. So can we expect this to be an expanding flat? Possible, which means if we get a sell setup, we'll take it. But if I get a sell setup on this and I get a sell setup on the EuroCAD, I'll sell the EuroCAD. Because there is a chance that this here is a contracting flat. This is the low when we're starting to the upside. In that case, this would have to do something like this at the top here. And then we'd be looking for the buy. So my sell would be more in the EuroCAD and the Euros rather than the Euro pound. Euro New Zealand. Okay, so we had 3 trades here. Let me just go through them very quick for you guys. I'll make that as fast as I can. We bought here, and we bought here. On Friday, we closed this for break even. We took the profit on this one and we put the stop on this one at this level here. Now, if this goes back up there without breaking out, we're going to close this trade. We're going to wait for it to come back and start buying from the bottom here. If it breaks out, we stay with the trade and we'll be buying more trades. We might even buy earlier than that, which means if we get a buy set up somewhere here on the way up, we'll take it. Can this come back all the way here? Probably, but it will have to make some correction. And if we see a correction for downside, we'll close this trade and we'll be selling. All right, let's say all the Euro pairs are going to go down, including this one, which I think that's just making a deeper correction. That's all. So we might survive that correction with this one, but if it makes any more upside, if they make any correction to the upside like this, right, to come back down, we'll close that trade, take the profit off, and then we'll be going for this. We are trying to keep this, we are trying to keep at least one trade in this for the longer run because I showed you already last week and the week before, there's a really huge trade to the upside. Euro Swiss. Okay, I think we literally missed this one. Although we expected to go up, I expect this to go up. I didn't think they were going to break the top. I thought they'll do 1, 2, 3, then come back down here, then go. They actually broke the top. So the question is now, is this the low? All right, let's take this out. If this is the low, then this is a pretty sharp move. We'll have to find another sharp move wave somewhere to put that with. And we do have a sharp wave. I think we might have overlooked it, but we do have a sharp wave here, right? That like this. So this could be the low, right? And we literally overlooked that because it's really far away from this one. I still don't like it. I still don't think, there was a lot of correction in this one going on, but I still don't like that. So I'm hoping that this here might be an expanding flat, or we might get more waves in here than drop. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stay out of this, wait for a better setup, and then trade it. If we're going to get a sell setup, we might consider it. Although we have about 4 good sell setups on the Euro already, right? Euro Yen. Definitely, if you get a buy setup, we'll take it. If we get a sell, we might ignore it because we're in this sideways move. It could come back to the low and then go back up. But the bigger trade is to the upside. So if it turns out to be a flat here, and not just a flag, but mostly a flat, something like this, we'll go for that trade. So we'll wait for it. Pound New Zealand. It's going sideways. It's still going sideways. So it's still a buy setup, except it's a bigger buy setup here now. You can either put it all into one, or you can assume that this is a separate one of its own. It wouldn't make a difference right now. You're just going sideways. Look for the buy setup. We keep breaking the top. So this will be the only exception, right? We keep breaking the top. So it's either an expanding structure you're looking at. That's one option. Or at some point, this might just slightly break the top and go down, but we can't sell in this correction. It has to drop through the bottom of that, make flag here, and then we consider this the top. As of now, you're still in that for upside, right? So we'll keep it. Pound Aus, go for the sell. We're actually looking for the sell setup. I don't know if my traders got in earlier. If you do, the entry would have been here. If not, wait for it to break out, put an entry under here, and we're looking for that sell back to this low. Let's see if we get that trade. We might get it earlier than the under the low. So we'll wait for a setup and we'll go with the trade. Pound Swiss, you're at this, in this structure. And as you can see, they do often go back to the top. See, they go back all the way to the top of this impulse, but then they drop, right? It's very common. You put this impulse, you go back all the way to the top, and then you drop. So I'm thinking this going back to the top could still drop here. Might even drop here, make a consolidation and drop again, but it's looking downside, very much downside. If I'm wrong about that, then we still have one more move down before we go up, which means I think this is 1, this is 2. You have to come back here for 3, break this low, and then go. So if I get a sell set up here, I'll take that trade, either to break this low and go back up, or to break this low and then go back up. So we're looking for a sell setup on this one. Pang Yen? Yep, it's still going up. And it's still going sideways. For the one trader who is insisting it's going to go up, this is not an impulse. I explained it, and I hope you understand why I think when you go up like this, you come back down. The reason is because it's a correction. So if you bought this and you didn't take your profit here, you end up getting a break even. If you're still holding it, you have to be very careful, because this could just do this and drop like that. Right? We have seen many times when that happened. I could even show you in this chart. So for your own good, I hope you understand that, because if you understand that, you'll save yourself a huge headache. Here is a good example of that. See this? If you didn't realize that this here was a corrective structure and you bought here and you're keeping that trade, this is what happened. And if you kept it, this is what happened. So when you see that structure and the way it's behaving, you understand that it is going to drop. So if you're buying inside of the correction, which we decide not to do, we bought the pound and we bought some other trades. Right? Because I don't like trading it. The risk is too much. It takes too long to go. And you're literally just stuck with trades that are not going anywhere. This is the entry order we put on this morning for the sell setup. So why we're interested in sell? Because when it drops, it could drop really fast. Am I interested in a buy here? No. Can it go up? Absolutely. I think this could go up and break the top again. I'm not interested in that buy. When it breaks the top, I'll move my entry order to this level and I'll wait for the sell. Remember, it doesn't mean I'm not trading pound. It just means I'm not trading this pound here to the upside, because I know the risk in it is very high. That's all. Trade any other pound pair. Trade something that has a setup for the upside. Trade something else. You have the same money, put it in another place that is much safer, and wait for when this sharp move starts to drop, then you get a better trade. Pound cat, same here, right? If you're in the sell, we were trying to sell this before. This is a Friday sell. Take that off. That should not be there, by the way. That was Friday. We were trying to sell it, but it went up. So you would take that trade. It went up really to the top. It's coming back up. It still looks upside. It looks more like this one now, right? So we're still looking for that trade to the upside there. So that would be a good trade if you get it. And if it started to go up and make a flag, that'd be a good trade. It's still upside as of now. It might break the top again. I think we broke the top once. We might break it. No, we didn't break it. We'll probably break it today. And then we'll see if they start coming down from that area. We'll take the trade to the downside. Aussie yen. Sell setup, Aussie Swiss. Stay away. I said stay away last week, stay away this week. It's not giving us anything there. Aussie CAD. We might get a sell setup here. This was a sell setup last week if you took it, right? Remember I did it in the Aussie dollar. So if you took that, this is making a bigger flat here. So if we get a bigger flat, we'll start selling, right? If we see the bigger flat and we get an entry, we'll take it. Aussie, New Zealand. It might be turning. They might not go exactly to that top. We're expecting them to get there. I think that's a daily structure. We're expecting them to get to that top and then turn or get to that top and break out. Looks like we're heading downwards. Go back on the 1 hour. If you get the sell setup, you can take it. There is a sell setup here. And you might want to consider, I'm sorry, Yeah, putting an entry order under the low. I was looking for the other one, looking for this one. You can consider putting an entry order under the low, but it's very, very slow. Just a warning. Kadian, I think we'll just end up with a bigger correction. I'm expecting this to come back and probably tag that top and then drop into this pattern, right? Very big correction. Stay away from it. If you can trade it, you know what to do. If not, it's up and down slow, so you have to be careful. Swiss yen, we're looking for a sell setup. It's actually making a flag here, so we're expecting the sell setup. We're looking at this pattern, and I think it might be a running flat. I explained this last week. So if it proves a running flat, this is going to be a nice downside and you don't want to miss it. Right? New Zealand yen. Okay, this was a buy setup for last week. If you were looking at this piece, we got that. That was the buy setup, and we had a second buy setup there. Take off this one. It's no longer valid. This one you already closed. Took the profit with the new one. It's still consolidating. But if you look at the consolidation now, it's starting to look more downside than upside. Take this off. Sorry, not that one. Put back this. Take this off and take this off. So now it's looking more like a bigger correction for downside. See this? This is a small correction. This one is just making a bigger correction for downside. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do this, probably even do a few more of this and then drop. See that? So if it continues like this, you could take small buys, but start every sell you get after it breaks the top will be selling. Every sell setup we get will take 2. New Zealand Swiss. It's a bigger consolidation. Just leave it alone for now. New Zealand CAD. Short term, it's more downside now. Last week, it was more upside when we had this small possibility here, but it broke the low and they're consolidating here. That's downside. So it should still break the top. I still think this could go and break the top first. Take off the buy. You're not buying it anymore. The buy is no longer valid. That was for the small flag. I still think they can go break this top because I'm looking at this as the flat rather than this piece here as the flat. So I still think there's a chance for one more up. So we will probably wait for the sell. If it drops now, let it drop, make another flag, then we sell. Don't sell it now because if you sell it now, it can literally do this. Go break the top and then come down. We'll get a running flat here. And we get 1, 2, 3, and then we'll get down. So we might even get a buy setup there. So better not to take the sell weight. CAD Swiss. It's going sideways. It's not going anywhere. If you got in that sell, you got out of it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours to get the hell out of it. And it's going like this now. We're actually doing this. Probably leave it alone until you get a better flag, and then we'll see if they come back to the top. Right? Could it still be downside? Yeah, but it's not that interesting anymore. And we're looking for a buy setup here. This is a buy until it comes lower. If this comes back into this area, wait for an up move, you get a bigger flat here, and then the sell. If it stays here and go up, take the buy. UK oil. Okay, so if you took that buy, close it, and you can put an entry above the top. It's consolidating, and if it consolidates, they'll probably go up more. If we see a deeper drop, right, if you think it's going to drop much deeper, then we'll relook at it. But right now, it's upside. US oil should be the same, right? So wait for an entry above the top, or wait for this flat to get bigger, and then look for a buy setup. We don't have any sell setups there. This was a sell, and you're getting another sell setup here. It's early to put the sell setup. I'll just put it so you know what we're looking for here. Only if this goes up sharp, make a flag, then we'll take that up. As of now, I think they'll consolidate here and drop. US 30. So if you sold there, you did amazing, right? Remember that sell setup? There were 3 sell setups we looked at in trading. That was one. You would have got another sell setup here if you looked at this. And you're getting this here now. So we've got this move down. They can still go back up. See, they keep pulling down, go back up, pull down, go back up, pull down, go back up. I think we're looking at a series of running flats here now. It could still go back up. So you take your profit off. We don't have a buy setup. We'll have to wait for the buy setup. We also don't have a sell setup. If this is making a bigger flat for downside, we'll have to wait in it. On the bigger picture, I still think they can go back up, right? They can go back all the way to the top. So we'll have to wait and see whether it's doing that. We don't have any buy or sell setup at the moment. I don't think we have any in the 15 as well. S&P 500, you have to wait for this too, same thing. You have a consolidation similar to this one. You had a consolidation here. You're getting a consolidation here. If that happens, it could probably go higher. So we'll just have to wait. Nasdaq, I think we had the sell in this one as well. I think the sell was in this one here or in this one here. Those two, right? One of the two depends on when you were in the chart. You should have closed there or closed there. And now we're looking for this to probably go back up because this looks like it's doing something like this now, right? Go back up to the top and then we'll see if they come back. So wait for buy or sell setup. You might likely get a buy setup here. I don't see the sell setup in it. PayPal keeps dropping. So if you're selling, wait for smaller flags, wait for a bigger correction, then sell. And let's see. Good. If you sold the first one, that was this here. This was the first sell we made. If you sold that, was only to this level, close sell there. It's making a flag, close sell. Let's see if it drops more, right? So the sell was there, the sell would be here. This could actually go back up. I think it potentially could go back up and break the top, but because they're making a big flat, we'd anticipate a big drop in it. Right, so the sell setup should be here. Same for this, let's go Nifty. Yep, it's coming down now, so I hope you got into the sell. The sell would have been somewhere in here, right? Somewhere in this flag here, that would be the sell. Put the positive, let's see if it breaks the low. It should break the low lower. Amazon, okay, it didn't go anywhere. It made a new high, so we'll have to just wait. If we make flag there, we'll buy. If it makes flag here for upside, we'll buy. If it drops lower, make a flag, sell it back to break the low. At least break this low. Tesla. Yep, an upside looks possible. And let's see this. It's upside, but stay away from it. This was the buy actually. It didn't go anywhere. It stayed here for a couple hours and now it's coming down. So it could still be an expansion that goes up or it could come back, retest the lows. We don't have any sell setup. We also don't have any buy setup. So let's go Bitcoin. Okay. Remind you, go back and watch my Bitcoin. Remember, we showed you the pattern and it did exactly that. This one, 1, 2, 3. Look for your buy setup. This would have been your buy setup. Actually, there's a buy setup here too. Be careful with this buy if you take it, because there is still a chance we could go make a new low. We are assuming that this is the start of the upside and that's why you're buying, right? Remember, the assumption is this could be the start of the upside on the bigger running flat going up, right? So if you bought that one and the entry should have been at this level. The entry should have been, I think we did that in our trading room, the entry should have been at this level here. See, you made the flat, you're going up. Go back, watch the webinars, it's there. You had a second entry here. This is an entry that you probably after the weekend this morning. If you're not in, wait for another flag like this, buy again. If it starts to come down, for us to get into any sell, it would have to do this, make a flag here, then we'll sell. But right now, I still think this could take off. One more low. It's always possible to make one more low. But the higher this go, the more you'll be thinking, well, we're just going to break this up again. ETH, same thing. That was the buy setup there in the 1 hour. That was your buy setup. There was a nice flag there for the buy. You can see that. That was a buy we called on Friday for that flag. Be careful at the top there. I still think this has potentially one more down, which means watch the Bitcoin as well. ADA. Yeah, this went up, but this definitely has more downside. This is not going up. This might be an, I don't know if these are going to be indications, but this is definitely not going up. This is going to drop from here. So look for sell setup. And so is this. This could still go. You could make an argument that this was a big flat at the bottom here, right? Kind of a 1, 2, and this is going to continue, especially if they consolidate here, it can go, or it can come back here and then go. So right now, the setup is a buy setup, but you will have to put it above the top. So we're going to assume that it's making a running flat. We'll put an entry out here with the assumption that you would actually want this to come back here first. Assume that that is a running flat and go with the buy. If it drops like this, wait for a flag and then go for the sell. But it has to drop here first to confirm that they're making this for downside. Otherwise, this could just be a flat for upside. And this here would be a big flat in the middle as a 1, 2, 3, and this just continued to go. Link, buy. All of them has a small flat. So now is it going to drop or is it going to go back up? This one did break the low. So that means it can go back up. See, we're in that sideways move. And when you break the low, You break the top, you could go back, break the top, you could come back, break the lower, you could take off. So if you get any flag here, you buy, you buy, you buy. If they drop, perfect, you buy. You look for a buy setup here. Forget about a sell, look for the buy setup. XRP, this will go back up. It didn't break the low, so we're expecting it to come back to this top, break the top, but it's only 1 hour. So if it's not breaking the low and you get flag, you buy. This was really flat. So there's no guarantee that this one would continue to go up. It was really, really flat here. So your first buy would come here. This would be your first buy. When you get this one, that would be your first buy. We didn't buy this because it is really flat. We expected to come and tag this top, but then it could drop. So you didn't take that buy. We bought the, I think the ETH and some other one. So you're looking for this trade here now, take off this, that was the sell. If this goes up, it will still come back down. So if this is the start of that upside, any flag you get, you buy. Now we will expect it to break the top if they don't break the low. So if it's coming from here going up, it will break the top. If they drop once more, break the low, they wouldn't break the top. But it's going sideways, I think you can see it. There is still a lot to trade from 74 to 150. And let's go. This definitely looks downside. Same like all of them, but there is a buy setup in it. So if you want to take the trade hoping this one takes off, you have a buy setup here. Go into one or you can see that, right? This here is a buy setup, but it's really slow too. Again, would you take that trade? I think not. Take the ones that you're sure about. This one is going up, and this is one I probably wouldn't trade to for the upside as yet. And this is one you can trade for the upside. This one here. You can trade that for the upside. You've got some sharp moves up here. You've got a big correction. You can get another sharp move up there. If you get another flag, you keep buying. If they're going to drop, do this, make a flag, sell. But if they're going to make another flag above the top, buy. BNB. It's at the top, but I believe this is more corrective than upside. So I would not be buying here. If I'm going to be buying this thing, it has to break out, make a flag above here, and then I'll buy. Otherwise, then I'd look for a sell setup. If you get that, they come and make a flag here, sell it. That'll be a day or two. And let's go. Okay, this one actually did make a very sharp move up, a little unexpected. I thought this was really flat, so I thought they'll drop first. So let's go back and look at this, see where we are. Okay, we have had a few of those sharp moves, nothing to worry about. So you had this sharp move, they came down, sharp move came down, flat, this was a sharp move come down. So this sharp move could still be part of a correction. So not confirming the upside as yet. I still don't like this big correction in the middle here. So let's see if they come back down. If it stays at the top there and consolidate, then you can consider the buy. If it stays here and go, then you can consider the buy. All right. Let's see, TRX. Keeps going up, but it's still kind of, if you look at it from this way, from all the way from here, it's breaking out now. So we'll wait to see if we start to get bigger flags. If we get a flag here, you could go a bigger correction, not a flag. Not, you can make an argument for an upside. We're above the tops. If they consolidate, go for the buy. So now if you didn't get this one here, wait for this to go up some more, make a flag, and then decide to buy. Don't buy it here now because they can drop from there and then go up. See, these big flats at the bottom are always the warning sign that they can come back here and then go. So you have to be aware of that. Dash, pretty upside. I think this was a buy. We saw this one, we saw this, and we know we're coming to break this top at least. You actually had a second buy here. This was your first buy, and this would have been your second buy here. Put that to break even. If it starts to drop, take the break even trade, go for one more down. If they go up, every flag you get to buy. And APM, what is this? Okay, this went up, but not, not as aggressive as we expected. We expect a very sharp move up. So we will go with this as the low, or we're still in a bigger correction as a contracting flat, or we're still in a bigger correction, which means this could still come back here, right? This could still come back to this level and then go back up. We haven't broken the top as yet. So I'd leave this alone for now. I will leave that alone because we broke out of this one, but this would have to be some kind of a weird flat pattern. Right? So I'll still hope that this is a correction. We come back here and then go. Just don't trade it as yet. Wait for it. Let's see what is happening. We want to buy one or two of these long term. You don't have to wait some more. Unless you're an investor and you already bought, that's great. If you're an investor, you can already buy. We spoke about that in the trading room. But if you're investing, the one more drop doesn't make a difference to you. Right? If you're buying without leverage and you're buying for 5, 6 years, if they drop back, we get it. If not, we'll buy it a little higher, no problem. You're pretty sure the impulse started, it's going to go much faster for you. So that would be a better deal, right? Because you don't have to wait anymore. So let's wait and see, and then we'll get into them. For the 2 or 3 we will pick, I think I'll probably my classes are starting today, but they're going to be come back sometime this week, guys. My weekend was a little too busy. Time is a big factor in my life right now. Right? Time is really, really, really running out. I wish the day had 4 to 6 hours. That would be better for me, not 24. So let's go. Let's hope. So all my traders, I would see you guys in the room again in a couple of minutes. For the rest of the YouTube traders, please like, share, comment. And, if you like us, join us. That's the best thing.